The Super Mario Galaxy film is the sequel to the incredibly successful Super Mario Bros. Film that once again stars Chris Pratt as Mario. Mario ventures into space, exploring cosmic worlds and tackling galactic challenges far from the familiar Mushroom Kingdom. I really enjoyed the first Mario film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the characters were overall engaging enough for the story. I thought the story, while being simple, was still effective in its adventure and how it portrayed the world of Mario and the characters. I really enjoyed. It wasn't all perfect. There are some song choices that did not work and felt out of place. And there are some jokes that just don't overall land, but the animation was fantastic, beautifully animated, capturing the world of the Mushroom Kingdom very well. The characters were really fun to watch, and I was interested to see where the sequel was going to go from here. I gotta say, this is a bit of a step down from the first film. Now, that's not to say that this movie is awful or straight out bad. In fact, I will say that I still enjoyed the film and had a fun enough time, but this is not one of those films, for me at least, that's not going to resonate like for a long period of time, like it's going to be in my mind, like I'm going to remember it. It's just a fun family adventure that plays off the strengths of the first movie well, but it also exemplifies the weaknesses that first movie had to a very large degree. And that is due to the amount of references that the movie puts on you in, I would say, the later half of the film, because there are points in the story where characters will delve away from the main plot to go do something else for a separate scene that felt like it could have been done in like the extended edition of the Super Mario Galaxy film. It just felt like an add-on sequence to have a bit more adventurous fun. Like there's this T-Rex sequence that we saw in the trailer that all in all felt kind of pointless to the story and a bit of a detour from what's actually going on, and just for the sake of referencing something that is related to Yoshi, the character Yoshi, who is introduced here in the film. And while I will say that his presence at first was alright and nothing special to me, his character did grow on me as the movie goes on. But overall, he still did not feel like he added much to the overall vibe of the story, but the overall plot and what the characters are going after. Like it did not feel like he had an actual important role to the story in trying to save Rosalina, who I am going to talk about later. But he's just there for like comic relief, and he's fine at points like that. But he just felt like one of those characters that's just along for the ride. And that's the same with that T-Rex scene that I felt like was just there just to have a lot of fun references. And there are a lot of references to Mario stuff here in this film and other Nintendo properties. Some work, like this pilot character. I won't spoil. He was fun in the film, played by Glenn Powell, and has a lot of charm and energy, like a Han Solo kind of character. But at many points, he just feels like a glorified cameo that's just there to get our characters from one point to the other, when probably a background character could have done the same. He didn't feel like he really served much of a purpose apart from probably setting up a universe. And there are a lot of references and little Easter eggs here and there that overall I would say work, because it feels like it is part of this character's world, and that is what happens here. And whenever the movie references something like that, then it works. When it just feels like it's there to extend a scene or to introduce a random character, it sometimes doesn't work. And as someone who's not like deep into internal lore, even I felt like, okay, this is a bit much, you know? Let's dial it back a little bit with the references and let's try and move the plot along a little further. And that is not to mention that the characterizations for these characters this time around is not the strongest like in the first film. The first film is simple, it's not the deepest characterization for Mario and Luigi, but here Luigi and Yoshi tease Mario, who's having a tough time giving a birthday present to Princess Peach, who's trying to find her sister Rosalina. And Rosalina barely has much to do in the story apart from the very beginning and very end. It's just the characterization here, the motivations for our main heroes just isn't there. And because we focus so much on the adventure itself, what the world of Mario Galaxy is like, it feels like we are skipping on the characters. We're not focusing much on their story and what we can do to progress the characters throughout the story, and they're just there for another adventure. They may have a few things that's in their mind, but that's not the focus. The movie has no time for characterization. It just wants to have a lot of fun action sequences that are beautifully animated, beautifully rendered. Especially like the art design is just absolutely wonderful. Like how space looks out there in Mario, all these different worlds, like this airport to terminal world that goes into an underbelly criminal world. Like that was so creative and fun to watch. But overall, the characters themselves just aren't the strongest. The two characters I thought were actually really entertaining was Bowser and Bowser Jr., as those two characters actually form a really deep reconnection here in the film that bonds the characters closer once again. We learn a lot about their history, their emotional attachment to each other, how Bowser Jr., despite how much Bowser seemed to change for good, he's still trying to lean his father back towards being a bad guy once again. And we explore how much Bowser means to Bowser Jr. And Bowser starts to feel like he was truly loved by his son, that he despite feeling like he wasn't there or was much of a good father to Bowser Jr., Bowser Jr. was there to reinforce that idea that Bowser was still a very important figure in his life, and is what motivates him to do everything he's doing here to make his father proud still. And it's all to try and bring Bowser back to the dark side. So it's a twisted way of a hero's journey. It's like a villain's journey, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was the most creative part of the film, and the one bit of characterization and character writing that I actually felt was really well done here. Overall, I will say that this is a step down for the first film. It's alright, it's fun at times, you can have a good time with it. I would still recommend to parents who want to take their kids to the theater that they can take them to see this and they'll have a lot of fun. I know a lot of kids in my auditorium really had a good time with it, but the movie is not going to change your life or change the course of animation forever. It's just a fun family film that you're probably not going to remember much, but in the moment when you go to the theater as a family, you are going to have a good time, I will say that. But if you're looking for something a little bit deeper in terms of characterization and hoping that this movie will improve upon some things of the first film, it improves on superficial things like the animation, but in terms of the writing, it is a bit of a downgrade in comparison. So I'm mixed on this. I'm leaning towards more the positive, but all in all, I am like straight in the middle with this film. And yeah, I really don't care if you want to go see this movie or not, really. Spend the money the way you want to. If this still looks interesting to you, I will understand it, and I recommend you go watch it. And if it's not interesting to you, I understand, and you don't have to watch it. So yeah, these are my thoughts on the Super Mario Galaxy film, and I'm going to give it a C+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Click like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.